Alright, hey y'all, my name's Alexis, and today we are going to talk about imposter syndrome. So, this channel is basically just about my spiritual journey and my spiritual growth, and maybe someone out there can relate to my journey, and I just want to help somebody else off the lessons that I've learned throughout my journey. But yeah, let's get back into the topic. Today we are going to talk about imposter syndrome and how it can lead to self-sabotage. It can lead you to going down a path you were not trying to go down originally, and just making you feel as if you are not the bomb.com. That's how we're going to word it. So first, I kind of want to start off with just the definition of imposter syndrome. I'll give a couple other definitions down the road, and just whatever flows out, flows out. I just realized if I took notes that it would take me longer to take notes than it would to just speak it. So, first things first. Actually, let me put this on the floor. First things first. What is imposter syndrome, right? So, imposter syndrome is a cognitive distortion. It causes people to doubt their skills and accomplishments. They doubt others' high regard for them. They doubt their own history and track record. So when it comes to imposter syndrome, like for me personally, I do not feel as if all the things that I accomplish make me a great, person, or like, let's see, I know how to braid hair, and I did my own hair, I did my friend's hair, but for some reason, like, I don't feel worthy enough to let other people see my work. Like, I just don't feel as if my talents are really that good when they are that good. What's another thing? I have a body. I have an aromatherapy business where I make body butters and candles and wax melts, and a graphic design business where I make decals, logos, t-shirts. But in those businesses, they are not flourishing because I don't feel as if I'm supposed to be the CEO. Like, I don't feel as if the hard work that I'm doing to create these beautiful masterpieces is really like worth it. I don't even want to say worth it. Worth it is not the right word. I don't feel like it should be me, if that makes sense. I feel like it should be somebody else, as if I'm not worthy enough to do these things. Another thing, like, I recently graduated college in May, and so while I am proud of graduating college, I am not proud of the trials and the tribulations that I went through to get there. Like, first things first, I started college 7 months pregnant. 7 months pregnant. Craziness. A lot of people, like, when I applied to college, I wasn't pregnant. I just knew that I needed to go back to school. I just knew that, like, okay, I've taken this hefty break. I need to get my gears back and grind, because, like, the path that I'm going down now is just, this is not it. This is not how I see my life going, And so, boom, I have my baby first semester. I fail because these are attendance-based classes. I had to give birth, so there goes my maximum allotted days, to miss class. And then on top of that, the final, like, couple weeks of classes, my babysitter got a job. So now I'm like, okay, I have this barely a month-old baby, and I have to go to class, and I'm not really trying to introduce him to all of these surroundings. But, eventually, I said, forget it. I'm going to pack this baby up. We're going to go to class, and I'm going to finish out this semester as strong as I can. And I did that. But with that being said, I did have to appeal some things just to get back in school and be able to enroll in classes. And I did all of that with a baby on my hip. So whenever the daycare was closed, or My work, I had a work study job. I bring my baby. Like, I stopped letting outside factors affect my end goal. My end goal was to graduate, and I did that with my baby on my hip. Like, there are still people to this day that be like, "Hey, aren't you the one who brought your baby to class?" Yes, I am, because that's something that I wanted. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, I don't feel as if, let me reword that, because my mindset is changing, so I want to speak it in the way that I want to feel. So I felt as if I didn't deserve these accomplishments, and that the work that I put in for these accomplishments was not worth it, and that I felt an out of body experience, as if I wasn't living these truths. So when people come up to me and give these compliments, I feel as if, like, they can't be talking about me, but they are talking about me, because I did do those things. I am a powerful person. I am a brilliant person. I am smart. Um, I am driven. I am ambitious. I am these things. But for some reason, when people come back and relay these things that I know that I am back to me, I feel as if I'm having an out of body experience, right? And so things that cause, like, imposter syndrome, um, let let's rewind. I found another definition of imposter syndrome that I forgot about. So, imposter syndrome is the condition of feeling anxious and not experiencing success internally. Despite being high performing in external objective ways, this condition results in people feeling like a fraud, a phony, and doubting their abilities. Like, you just don't feel confident in yourself. No matter what you do, no matter how successful you are, you just feel inadequate. Um, I think I'm gonna end this with a poem that I love. I'm let me, now that I'm thinking about it, let me go ahead and pull that up so I can have that for later. Um, but alright, so you feel inadequate. You don't know, like, and you just don't know how to get out of it. You just don't feel like the things that you're accomplishing is really you. You don't feel like you're really doing these things. You're so anxious, you're so nervous, like you're just stagnant, so to speak, because you just don't know, right? And so, what are some things that can cause imposter syndrome? First, your family environment. So, when it comes to your family environment, what are the things that your family is really putting emphasis on? Like, for me, my family put a bunch of emphasis on the things that I was doing in school, right? A lot of people were showing up to graduations. Like, I had a lot of people come to my graduation this year, and I am grateful for them to show up and support me. I did have a family member that tried to cause some issues, who is no longer, in my opinion, going to be around. As long as it's an event I am hosting, what other people choose to do, cool on them, you know? But the devil tried to come in and steal my shine and try to make it all about them. And that's just not how this works, baby. It's my graduation. It's all about me, and you can't be mad about it. But now I'm thinking about it, that's not the first time that family member has done that. Anyways, off topic. But first, back onto the matter at hand. So, your family environment, right? What are the things that they're putting emphasis on? For me, my family put a big emphasis on academics. But when it came to my creative things, or like playing sports, my family was not there. Like, I had to sit there and watch all my friends' families be there and support them and just be happy for them. And my mom was rarely in the stands, or like other family members weren't really showing up in that capacity. And so I think a part of it made me feel like, why should I have to try hard in this? Nobody's watching me. Nobody's coming to see me. What's the point, you know? And I played as if, what's the point? Now, when it came to like playing with my friends at a court, I'm gonna ball out because these are my friends. These are people who show up for me, right? But as I have gotten older and I am now raising my child, I don't want him to feel as if his creative endeavors, the sports he decides to play, you know what I'm saying? The things that he cares about that I might not know anything about is small. I don't want him to feel as if those things are insignificant because they matter to him. And I think the more that you put an emphasis on the things that matter to you, it slowly but surely pulls you out of that imposter syndrome because you're putting an emphasis of, hey, this is something I like, this is something I want to do, and I'm going to give my all to it, right? So shifting that dynamic within yourself and the family you create helps minimize that imposter syndrome. Another thing that kind of influences a person's imposter syndrome is the social pressure, right? Just not feeling like you belong or going let me try to word this in a better way. Being a part of a group of people who only emphasize your achievements as well. Like, the approval that you're seeking is only based off of your achievements. So let's say that you are on a sales team and you get top sales, 10%, whatever, and you get invitations to go to these dinners, right? But then you fall off the next quarter and you don't get an invitation. So now you feel inadequate because you didn't perform to their standards. But that doesn't mean that you didn't do a bomb job at sales, right? Like, it just means that at that moment you were not ranking where they wanted you to be, and that's okay. Like, there's so many different scales in life. Like, we really don't have to be on these scales. I know for a fact that the only scale that matters is the scale that's in here. Like, the scale that is within you. How am I showing up today? Am I able to give my 100%, or do I just have 80 today? Like, where in your 100% scale are you today? And be okay with that, because let me be honest, we're not gonna be 100% all the time, and that's okay. And if you're looking to be 100% all the time, that's crazy. You're gonna drain yourself. You're gonna run out of fuels. You're gonna have to go inward and isolate and get yourself back together so many different times, or you're just gonna crash out. And nobody wants to crash out. Like, nobody wants to crash out. And crashing out is kind of like a last resort. And sometimes God makes you crash out so that you can see the purpose that He has for you in your own life. So I just want you to be mindful of the things that you're hearing from God and making sure that you are listening and doing the things that He's telling you to do, because God does not talk in a loud, booming voice, right? It's a soft whisper. It is just a nudge. Like, it's really not a huge voice talking, because He wants you to choose Him, right? He wants you to choose His voice. Another thing that influences there's two more things. So, sense of belonging. Feeling like you don't belong anywhere. Feeling as if every group that you go to, you are the oddball. But I want you to kind of look at it as, am I trying to fit myself into this circle? Does this circle embody the traits that I am trying to embody, or are these people that I used to be and now I need to distance myself? But I don't want to distance myself because that means I won't have any friends. And if I don't have any friends, then I feel like an outcast and I feel like I don't belong anywhere. But let's be real. Like, friends come and go. Friends come and go. Your skin cells come and go. Like, every 7 years, you lose your skin cells. You get new ones. Your skin regenerates itself. Like, let's be real. Your friend circles, they're going to change. Like, yes, I commend the people who have the same friends for 20 plus years, because that means that in here and the things that you are trying to accomplish, they're the same. That means you guys have been growing together to be better. But that doesn't mean that there weren't people that you had to drop off at the corner and be like, hey, I know that we have been the best of friends. I know that we have been friends for a long time, but the path that I'm going and the path that you're going, they don't mesh anymore, and we have to go our separate ways. And that is okay. Stop feeling like you have to have these friends for your whole life, because you don't. You do not. Okay? It's okay to change. It's okay to want better for yourself. And whoever's telling you that you got to keep these friends, or you got to keep that relationship, or you got to be friendly with them because that's your blood, nip that in the bud. Or if you can't nip it in the bud, let it go in one ear and out the other. Because at the end of the day, you can cut those people off. You 100% have the right to cut those people off, because they are not encouraging you to be better. They want you to be stagnant and stuck in the capacity that they can use you for the betterment of them, but it's draining you. Okay? So just know it's okay to let go. Another thing is personality, right? So, how are you feeling on the inside? How much pressure are you under? Do you doubt yourself? Do you feel like a failure, right? These are things that are put upon us as we struggle, right? These are our struggle characteristics, right? And eventually we hold on to them so long that they become our personality, right? And when they become our personality, it is making situations worse, because we are internally trying to solve everything without seeking outward help. You're not allowing someone else to listen to your thought process so you can see how things are going. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I solve my problems by talking to other people. I used to just try to solve it on my own. I could do this. I'm 100%. I could do this. I could do it. I could do it. Right? And I can't, because the things that I'm trying to do are not happening because I'm doing it by myself. But now I am reaching out. I am speaking out. And God is rewarding me for choosing to speak out, because things that are coming to pass are things that I was praying about in May. Things that I've, like, they're coming to fruition right now. And I am eternally grateful for the shifts that I have done in my own life to make this possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you realize that we are no longer in survival mode, but we are stable. We are living. That's what I want to call it. We're getting out of survival mode and we are now living. We are thriving. Okay? We are thriving. So I don't want you to feel as if that negative self-talk that you're hearing in here is your reality, because it's not. And when you do hear those negative self-talks, it is okay to tell it to be quiet, but it's because it's not the truth. It's not the truth. Tell it, be quiet. This is not me. Those are not my thoughts. Those are thoughts that have come to put me back in survival mode so that I won't step into what God has for me. Okay? I want you to shift the dynamic of the talk that you're hearing. Yes, you will hear those things, but I want you to come back at it with something positive, right? Come back at it with something positive. because that allows your brain to hear something else. That allows your brain to subscribe to something positive when that negative thing really could have took you out. You get what I'm saying? The more you feel like you're just in this imposter syndrome, the more you feel anxiety, inadequate. You feel like your light is not as bright as it is and that you shouldn't shine, right? And when you feel like that, you start to doubt yourself, right? You have self-doubt. You start to feel like the minor internal changes are not as big as the external changes, and you need to celebrate every change that you go through. But when you ignore those minor changes, you start to fall into procrastination. You start to fall into this self-fulfilling prophecy, right? And so I want to give the definition of procrastinate. So when it comes to procrastinating, it is delay or postpone action, put off doing something. And when you think about that, if you feel like the things that you are accomplishing are not you are waiting for the perfect moment to feel like you to do those things, right? And let's be real, the perfect moment is never going to come. Like, let's talk about this, okay? God has been telling me to do YouTube for a long time. I just found a goal of mine from 2020 talking about making a YouTube channel. It was about to be for hair, but God wants me to talk about God. Now, I might still do like some hair things on here, or like just show the things that I've done with hair, cool, whatever. But that might be in the future. That's not a today thing for me. Right now, I just want to spread God's word, right? And so I procrastinate. I don't feel like making videos because nobody's really watching them, but I'm watching them. I'm listening to myself talk about this and realizing the revelations that I would have never had if I didn't speak about it out loud, right? And I know that there's somebody else out there who is, going through things, and they might be having these same feelings. So maybe that those revelations that I'm having can help them and get them out of that stuck, stagnant, fighting for survival, fight or flight, all day, every day, fight or flight feelings. You know what I'm saying? And so once we realize, like, we're procrastinating because we feel inadequate, then we start to fall into this self-fulfilling prophecy. And let's give a definition of self-fulfilling prophecy. So, a self-fulfilling prophecy is a process through which an originally false expectation leads to its own confirmation, right? So let's say you're dating someone and you feel like they're going to cheat on you, so you are subconsciously treating them as if they're going to cheat on you, and then eventually they cheat on you and you be like, yep, I knew it, right? Ooh, I just hit myself. Yep, I knew it. Or let's say you are, for me, my business, okay? I don't get sales in my business because I'm not putting work into my business. And then I'm like, see, I didn't get any sales in my business. I'm not posting about my business. I'm not working on my business. So how are people going to find me if I'm not doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's minor things like that. And so I have started to work on my business again, and I've started to post more, and I'm going to start creating more, not even creating more content, because I have a bunch of content in my phone. I'm just not posting it because I don't think it's perfect. But it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going, and then you will find a rhythm that you can perfect. You know what I'm saying? And so imposter syndrome leads to all these trickles of things that you didn't even think could happen. Like, who knew that because I felt inadequate that it would cause me to procrastinate in becoming better, and then leading to me self-fulfilling a prophecy that I wouldn't be successful in this business venture, right? Like, when things happen, you have to look at it from a different level. Like, there are so many different ways that we could. I want to relate it to what I do. So I majored in exercise science, which is basically how the body moves, the mechanics of the body, the muscles that make up the body, things like that, right? So let's say one day you roll your ankle and then you leave it alone, like you don't do anything to help it. Eventually that ankle starts to feel like it doesn't hurt anymore, but then your knees start hurting. And because you've been walking a little funny because your ankle has started hurting, your hip starts hurting, right? It's a cause and effect. But had you solved that thing at your ankle first, it wouldn't have led to your knee and your hip now being out of alignment and causing you pain and making you feel like, sheesh, what's going on, when you knew that you hurt your ankle and that it needed to be healed, right? And so I think a lot of times we don't pay attention to the little things until they become ginormous, right? Until they become so big that it's spewing out of us, right? And so I just want you to know that, like, you can do this. We can do this, okay? I want you to say, I believe in myself. I am no longer self-sabotaging myself because I am worthy of achieving greatness. I love that. I am worthy of achieving greatness. Just speak that over your life. I am worthy of achieving greatness. And just watch how many things change for you once you start to believe that you can do the things that you say you can do, right? And so I'm gonna have to start getting ready for work. But the thing I want to leave you with is a poem. It is by Marianne Williamson, I think. We're going to say Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So I just want you to step out on faith and know that God got you, and do it imperfect until you perfect it. Do it imperfect until you perfect it. It does not have to be 100% perfect right now. People understand that you are taking baby steps. Like, people like to see the evolution of where you come from, and not just when you've made it. Like, people like to see, how did you get here? What got you here? So just be confident in yourself and know that you got this. You 100% got this. We are no longer living in imposter syndrome, right? We are no longer procrastinating because we don't feel like what we're doing is enough. We don't feel perfect in the thing that we're doing. And we are no longer engaging in these self-fulfilling prophecies, because you can be successful, you will be successful, and you will achieve everything you put your mind to. So I hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna leave that there. If you guys want to check out my aromatherapy business, I will put that in the description box. Another thing you'll see in the description box is the Bible that I'm currently reading. It's a 1-year Bible. It has a New Testament, an Old Testament, a Psalms, and a Proverbs. It just makes the Bible digestible for me. There is also a devotional book that I'm reading by Joyce Myers. I also linked one down below for the men who are looking for a devotional book. I don't know how well that book is. I did find it on Amazon and it looks like a good book. So I hope that it helps you. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there. You guys be blessed. Have a great day. Be successful. It's a beautiful Tuesday. Get up and get active. Go after it. Stop self-sabotaging yourself. Bye.